Joe Biden, he's waging war on cryptocurrency right now as he has proposed a 30% tax. Ooh, 30%, do it now. Joe Biden, you absolute idiot. What's going on here? You're doing a massive tax to so-called climate change. You think that's going to help even a little bit? Not only are you extremely far off, even people in your own party are calling you an idiot, as they should. Everyone should call you an idiot, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, anyone who possibly thinks that mining and trying to restrict and ban and do bad things when it comes to mining Dogecoin, Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, anyone that believes that's a good idea truly does not understand how a bank works or how much energy it takes to run those in comparison to cryptocurrency, which is significantly less. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has one of the best takes here, and he is becoming a much popular candidate in certain circles for the Democrat nomination in 2024. Very popular, in fact, amongst Twitter circles, especially cryptocurrencies. And this is because he just simply has common sense on a lot of issues, rather than pushing the boring old rusty narrative, oh, ban it, that Joe Biden and the other 90-year-old Democrats want to push. Truly, truly stupid. Cryptocurrencies, led by Bitcoin, along with other crypto technologies, are a major innovation engine. It is a mistake for the US government to put a horrible and hobble the industry and dive innovation elsewhere. Biden's proposed 30% tax on cryptocurrency mining is a bad idea. Yes, it'll drive everyone overseas. Yes, energy use is a concern, though somewhat overstated, but Bitcoin mining uses the same amount as video games, and no one is calling for a ban on those. The environmental argument is a selective pretext to suppress anything that threatens the elite power structure. Bitcoin, for example. Some advocate tight control of cryptocurrencies to prevent their use by criminals. But it isn't just criminals who want privacy. So do dissidents and ordinary citizens. Governments harass their enemies and crush dissident by controlling the bank accounts and payment platforms until we restore trust in the government. A distant prospect. We need cash in crypto to assure freedom. Just as a biodiverse ecosystem is a resilient ecosystem, so too will our economy be more resilient if it has a diverse ecology of currencies, not just a single centrally controlled one. We are seeing today how fragile our over-centralized system is. Perfectly put by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is calling out Joe Biden and is, ban 30%, just do it, just ban it. Come on, Joe Biden. Absolutely ridiculous. The fact this is even an idea is all we need to know, that we should never have ever allowed Joe Biden to be put in office in the first place as a country, and we absolutely need to make sure, no matter whether it's a Democrat replacing him or a Republican, that he is not in office again, and it better be someone who actually understands the value and potential of cryptocurrency. Like we have seen very few people on either side really truly understanding. Even Trump doesn't understand it to the degree that I think is possible, even though he did launch his NFT collection. And he's getting closer to it. I still have not seen Trump, though, come out with any pro-cryptocurrency statements, not even a single one. Ron DeSantis has. He's the only candidate right now with the chance of winning. There's really four. There's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., there's Joe Biden, there's Donald Trump, and there's, of course, Ron DeSantis. Those four, only two of them are a little bit younger, even though Kennedy's pretty old, but he's still younger compared to the average age of a president these days, I guess. And those two younger ones understand cryptocurrency, understands the future. I personally would rather see Robert F. Kennedy and Ron DeSantis as the two nominees than Donald Trump or Joe Biden, even though I could certainly see the argument if you like Trump a lot, because everyone's sick and tired of the system. So, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, I really want to see Trump with some pro-cryptocurrency comments, and so do I want to see that from Biden, but it's looking less and less likely that Biden will ever be pro that. Cryptocurrency and crypto mining firms do not have to pay for the full cost they impose on others in form of local environmental pollution, higher energy prices, and the impacts of increased greenhouse gas emissions on the climate. Oh, really? You mean like how the dozens and dozens of banks in most towns and cities, hundreds, thousands even, in the bigger ones, you mean how those do the same exact thing? But that's okay, though, right? Because it's the old-fashioned. But if it's the newfangled stuff, then we're really in trouble, even though it's bringing a lot of energy to the economy. You know who's a much better example of this? As, by the way, I'm going to talk about this in a second here, but you know who's a much better example of it? It's Bhutan. The big Bhutan, the nice round Bhutan is doing a good job here. Shout out to Bhutan. I'm a Bhutan guy. Look, there's lots of different types of guys. I'm a Bhutan guy. I like Bhutan, as they have been quietly mining Bitcoin for years. Bhutan has a population of under 1 million people. It's a pretty small country. Absolutely gorgeous country. I mean, look at some of this architecture and scenery. It would be really, really, really cool to go and visit this place. I really want to. I have not made any plans, and nor do I plan to make plans, because it's on the border of China and India, and I'm a little scared to do that, considering the fact that I call it China all the time. But who knows? Maybe I'll have to sneak in at some point in the future without China knowing. China, no. I was going to the other Bhutan, not that Bhutan. They, though, are actually capitalizing on crypto, understanding its potential, and mining it in a pretty big way. They have a ton of hydroelectric power there, and that is, of course, a huge advantage when it comes to mining, and they're using it to its fullest potential. As of right now, we do see China and Bhutan looking at a border deal that India is going to potentially be involved with as well, which would basically ease some of the tensions, as China does believe they have control over a certain amount of Bhutan, and Bhutan being such a small country, it's kind of hard for them to defend themselves unless they have help from, say, for example, India. So there's a lot that's going into that right now. But at the same time, it's just such a stark contrast to what we're seeing in the United States, and this talk of banning and increasing government power. It's never, never, never good. We've already been screwed over by the massive $32 trillion debt that our government officials have so recklessly built up, and now they want to screw us over even more by saying, not only are we going to screw up your currency, but we're not going to let you switch to any other ones. At least not in the form of mining. I mean, technically, it'd still be legal. It would just cause a lot of the mining to move overseas even more, and will only have negative consequences, not positive ones, despite the fact that there is some amount of good through this, which is that I do not want to ever be in a position where the United States government is in control of any capacity of cryptocurrency. And if too much mining is here, that's also bad. I've said many times I want it to be here rather than China, because the United States is way better than China, but at the same time, I sort of want all of it to be here. I do want some of it to be elsewhere, and at the very least, talk of this will mean it's more likely that operations will set up in other countries as well, not just the United States. So then we won't have too much centralization anywhere, which in many ways is a positive thing. Because they got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on the banana peel, says Paul Gaines. Unfortunately, most of our politicians do not care about the future, they do not care about us, and you'd think their grandkids and a good life and future for them would be of importance, but they seem to only care about themselves in what is perhaps the most selfish display of narcissism and extremely bad policy that we have seen in potentially, I mean, I wouldn't say world history, because there's been a lot of bad stuff in world history, but at the very least, in the United States history, the last 25 years or so has truly been a display of disgusting governance, unfortunately. It is what it is, and it must be stopped. Elon Musk is certainly playing a role in helping with that, though. Should I sell my 1 million Doge and take a loss, or hold, says Dano Billy. Well, let me just give you a little bit of comparison here. So we have Pepe Coin that has now overtaken Dogecoin in trading volume, not in market cap, but it's up to 434 million in trading volume compared to Dogecoin's 312 million. Now, when Dogecoin was spiking, it was in the multi-billions in volume. That was even from a small spike. So, of course, it makes sense. A lot of these coins that go into this $434, $500 million range for volume, it's a lot of sells too. So it's people selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying. It's a hot coin. A lot of people are trading it. So that's not exactly indicative of some overtaking of Dogecoin by any capacity. It's just a temporary surge in the amount of people that are interested in it and willing to trade, buy, sell, do something with it that causes the volume to increase. But as that compares to your question of if you should hold or not, this is clearly a sign that people are still willing to invest just for fun. Meme coins still have a lot of potential, and the nice thing about Dogecoin is it's so much more than just a meme coin. It's not just like, oh yeah, it's fun and it's done. It actually truly has the potential to be the cryptocurrency of Earth. And that right there is a prospect you really can't do anything but admire. And another thing to keep in mind, so in this proposed 30% crypto mining tax, it was not clear on exactly what the specifications would be, because keep in mind, Dogecoin is significantly more efficient in terms of its mining structure with energy used than Bitcoin is. And so as a result of that, you do have to wonder, could that really be in the law that you would ban Dogecoin? It would have to take a complete and total lack of understanding of economics and of cryptocurrency, on top of the already massive lack of understanding of cryptocurrency to even propose this in the first place in any capacity, even with Bitcoin. But to then go further and have such a lack of understanding that you also ban Dogecoin mining would be truly truly the tip of the iceberg when it comes to stupid old people running our country. You idiots, Joe Biden. How could you? How could you do it? I don't understand how anyone could support this guy. Anyone who says they does it, they're either getting paid or they're brainwashed. I mean, and I'm not someone who's overly one side or the other. I mean, I think Republicans and Democrats both, for the most part, of course they suck. I mean, but that's not like some cool thing to say. Anytime government gets too much power, there's going to be corruption. There's going to be people not caring enough. Government is always not the right answer when it comes to increased power, with very few exceptions, including security, but not to too much of an extent, and also including some laws and things that stop wild abuses. But in terms of the government having power to allocate capital, that's almost always going to be a worse system than a private handling of capital, with some government imposing restrictions and stuff to make sure there is nothing that gets out of control. That's always going to be the better system. And so in any time we see the government getting bigger, it's not good. And so that includes Republicans or Democrats. We don't want either of them to have too much power. It will fail no matter what. It will never, ever succeed. Someone said Doge is king. There we go. I like the way you think. Doge is in fact king. And you know what else is king? Pressing the like button and subscribing with the notifications on, which I'm sure you probably have already. Well, you've definitely probably subscribed. The notifications on. It's definitely worth it to have them on. We post around once or twice per day on heavy days, and less than once per day, 0 times per day. That would be on very slow days. Average is around 1 post per day. So it's worth it to have the notifications on so you can see that. You're not going to get spammed like you would, say, if you subscribed to some of those mainstream news channels where they just post all day long. But anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is False Stand, and I'll see you in the next video.